Should be live again.
And we're live.
We're live! Hooray! And we have sound!
Hi, everyone.
Hey, it's not a marathon if, if everything goes correctly first thing. So this is Summer Games Done Quick, supporting Doctors Without Borders, also known as Médecins Sans Frontières internationally. And they are a great charity to provide aid to medical aid to those who need it due to armed conflict, malnutrition, natural disasters, and other reasons. They don't exclude, and they provide a lot of good care internationally. And our first game is Okami, and as you can see in the top, that prize, the Perler, is available if you donate $5 or more during this run. And yes, on the couch for commentary is Blue Glass and the Darkman 78, and the runner is Centillia SD. And start whenever you're ready.
All right. I'll give you the signal to start the timer. Go. So this is Okami HD, New Game Plus version. Okami was originally released in 2006, and it got an HD remake in 2012. There are three main reasons why we do the game in New Game Plus, or at least three main reasons why I like New Game Plus. The first is that in the PS2 and the PS3 versions, you can't skip cutscenes in New Game version. You can only do it in New Game Plus. And the opening cutscene for this game, the one I just skipped earlier, is 12 minutes long of manually advanced text, so no one wants to sit through that. The second reason is we get an item from the New Game version called the String of Beads, which gives us infinite health, infinite ink, and multiplies our damage by 10, which trivializes combat in this game. I'm personally not a huge fan of the combat. And the third is, will be shown off later. It's a glitch that essentially allows us to get infinite air jumps. So to start off the run, we're just gonna run through this little tutorial section. We're gonna get rejuvenation from this constellation up here.
Is it okay if I read some donation comments right
Sure,
now?
go ahead.
Okay. So we have one from Bruno Ramadanowski, better known as Lincolnito, and he says, first, well, here we go for another marathon of pure skill and awesomeness. The French community will support you again through the Mr. MV restream. The Mr. MV restream, I forgot where the stream, where it's being streamed, but he is using his Twitch TV chat at twitch.tv/MrMV. So if you want French commentary, I would go to his chat. Mr. MV is a great guy. He actually has one of our Twitch faces, MV Pants, if you subscribe. It's $4.99 one time. You get the faces for 6 months for just a one-time subscription, and you can use those until the 6 months is over. And we will be giving our portion of the subs to charity. Will be donated during the last run, Twilight Princess.
Shoutouts to Mr. MV.
Yeah, shoutouts to Mr. MV. He's done a lot of good stuff for our community. And we have a $15 donation from Adam Hillman. He said, first time donating to an SDA charity event. Well, hopefully it's not your last time. And we have $5 from Anthony Sanchez. He says, hello everyone. Sorry that I can't give more. I love what you guys do. You know, Anthony, any donation of $1 more is appreciated. Unfortunately, if your donation is lower than $1, then PayPal pretty much eats up the donation. And while I'm able to read most of the comments now, there will be some high donation traffic moments where I can't read all the comments. That doesn't mean that we aren't getting your donation. We're still getting your donation. We just can't read them all off because we'll be getting a lot of, we'll be having a high donation traffic moments where we just cannot read all of the comments. And $5 from Will Smith. Not the Will Smith you think it is, but someone in our community. He said, I had to be the first to donate, but I can't do much. But I still love Scout, Yama, Cosmo, and all the wonderful guys behind making this happen. Good luck on the George Foreman KO boxing run, Adam, as that's what my $5 goes to. I love you all, and have a great marathon. Style Cat.
Also, while he's running out here, he's skipping several fight triggers. And
Yeah.
just running around them.
At those two gates I just passed, at the bottom of each of them, there's a fight trigger. But if you just run around to the left, you can just skip them.
That's why you were running behind the trees.
Yeah.
I think if you go left there, there's another one, but I'm not sure.
No, I have never gone left
Yeah,
there
but who
ever.
cares?
Ever.
Exactly.
Gotta go fast.
So normally once you restore nature to Kamiki, you have to go and what the heck? Anyway, once you cut the peach down and restore nature, you have to like rescue the people from their stone prisons and get the sun power, and then talk to the merchant, and he complains that there's a rock in the way, and then you have to do the stuff with Susano and give him sake because he can't do sword fighting unless he's drunk. And then you have to, and then he cuts the rock open, but we're just gonna ignore all of that and leave everyone as statues because it sucks to be them. So the glitch I was talking about earlier is called the Karmic Transformer glitch. When you beat the game, you get a bunch of neat little cosmetic things called Karmic Transformers. So what you see me doing here, come on, there we go. So when you switch Karmic Transformers and you exit the pause menu, you have a 3-frame window to dash after you close the pause menu. If you dash in those 3 frames, you get a ground dash instead of an air dash like you normally would, which essentially gives you another air jump.
And a frame is the smallest unit of measurement.
Yes.
It varies from game to game. I think Okami is 60 frames a second?
Yeah, so Okami is 60 frames per second, so the 3-frame window is 1/20th of a second after you close the menu.
And there's slight randomness in how long it takes the menu to close.
Yeah, there's a little bit of randomness. You can sort of tell based off a visual cue. And also certain parts of the game have more slowdown on the menu closing than others. So that's kind of annoying. But the good part about it is if you mess up, you can just pause buffer it. You can tell if you got it right because Amaterasu will rear back in the ground dash animation. So if you see that animation, you can just unpause and then do the jump out of it. But otherwise, you just try again.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to damage control if you miss the frame input once. Isn't
Yeah.
it? You
Yeah.
just kinda do it again.
When it happens multiple times in a row, it just
Like once your speeds, like once you start really falling, like
you fall
fast,
really
then
fast.
you just really don't
Yeah.
have a high percentage of getting it.
So this is the first mandatory encounter in the game. We use it to equip 2 items. We equip a glaive. We equip essentially the second most powerful glaive and the second most powerful beads because they trivialize combat. We also use that time to.
And the most powerful ones don't carry over to new
Yeah.
class.
And we equip the string of beads and the peace spell. The peace spell stops the random demon scrolls that wander around from following you, which is just more of a convenience thing than anything really. And the string of beads, like I mentioned before, gives us infinite life, infinite ink, and 10 times damage. We also make very liberal use of an item called exorcism slips, which do a lot of damage in a large area to easily defeat fights with
I think
multiple
they just
enemies.
damage every enemy in the battle.
I think they might, but I've had weird occasions where exorcism slips have missed enemies. It might be because some enemies have different invisibility timers than others, though. So we never actually got the sun power. We skipped it, but the game is very convenient in accommodating that because it assumes that to get out of the village, you must have the sun power. So if you draw the sun power in places where the game expects you to have it, it'll just do it anyway, even though we don't have the power.
Nice.
So you can tell because normally when you draw the sun power, if you have it, you get a little red sun that
flame circle.
that shows up. But if you don't, you just get that little
Trail of
wisp of.
stardust.
So now we get to do the hardest part of the entire run.
Not just yet. Coming
Well,
up.
just about.
Best part of the run.
It's coming up in just the best part.
So we're just gonna cut that open, and we get Susano somehow managed to escape the village, even though the rock is still there and everyone is still statues. He's very incensed that there's a bear in his secret cave. So we have to help him cut this stuff down because he's a terrible swordsman.
This is his daily training.
Yeah, I don't know what he does if we're not there. He just like lamely poke. I guess he just like lamely pokes at the torches with
Here
his.
is the hardest part of the game.
Yeah, this is the hardest part of the game. This ball is so finicky, and it never does exactly what you want it to do. Like
Like
that.
Off to a good start.
I mean, this is not the worst start I've ever had. And then pushing it up this cliff is obnoxious.
Do you have a time limit for this?
No, it just takes forever. I pushed it back. I pushed it back down. No.
Oh.
All right, there we go. And now we just.
It's not too bad.
It could have been worse. It could always be worse.
Shout outs to the ball.
When I first learned the route and I was like looking at the document we had, it was like the first comment was on it was like, do we have something to make the ball more consistent? And the answer is no, we don't. So again, the game assumes you have sun and it gives us the bloom power, which we need. So actually, the first like hour and 30 minutes of this run is to get brush powers, because at the end of the game, before the final boss, there's a boss rush section that forces you to fight 5 of the bosses that you previously faced. You never actually have to face them at all in the run, but thanks to the Karmic Transformer glitch. But you need to face them. We haven't found a way to skip the boss rush section, and each one of the bosses requires a special brush power in order to beat them. So we have to get the brush powers just so we can fight them during that boss rush section. If we somehow found a way to beat the boss rush section, we'd essentially just Karmic Transformer glitch straight to the end of the game and beat the final boss. But thankfully, even though we have to do all of this stuff, even though we still have to go through a lot of the game, there's a lot of sequence breaks, which are really cool. We're just gonna skip this section by running to the side. If you want to read a few donations right now, it's a good time to do it.
Okay. We have $36 from Medina Stouffer, and her generous donation goes towards a lot of the donation challenges. And now is actually a good time to mention how our new tracker works. So basically, as you can see on both the Marathon.Speedrunners Archive page and the Twitch page, there's a donate button. And when you hit that donate button, when you make your donation, you can actually now just input a donation like challenges and choices into the tracker yourself, so that that saves time for both you and us processing your bids. But remember that you still have to make the payment go through on your PayPal account after you hit that after you go through that screen to make sure that we get the donation.
Okay. So right now we're going to do this Demon Gate because it unlocks a Mermaid Spring, which we use for rapid transportation later on in the game. Once you get mermaid coins. That guy. They're kind of annoying because if you don't ink them, they'll go underground and they waste a ton of time, and you have to exorcism slip. It's slightly faster to just ink and slash them than it is to go into the menu and exorcism slip. Yes. That circle in the bottom left corner is my godhood. It essentially is just a single hit shield that causes me to ignore hit, stun, and damage. The damage I don't take.
So it's pretty much useless.
So now we're going to get Cherry Bomb. Unfortunately, Tama's house is only open at nighttime, but so we can either wait for nighttime or we can talk to Mika here. He gives you the first wanted list, which only shows up at nighttime, and then it automatically triggers a fight scene that turns it to night, which is very convenient.
Is it okay if we read some more donations?
Sure.
We have $50 from Jamie Holmes, and he says, hoping for great summer games done quick and even greater donations to come. And so are we. And actually, $50, when you donate $50 to Doctors Without Borders, you can purchase enough vaccine to inoculate 175 children against a deadly outbreak of measles. So the donations are definitely going to a good cause. And I actually forgot to plug who we are. We're members of the speedrunning community. Speed Demos Archive, premier source of speedruns of over 800 games. Great forums for speedrun strategy discussion, and we're working on a strategy wiki so that we can have the strategies archived. And also members of Speedruns Live, which is the premier speedrun racing community. for people of all skill levels, beginners and experts,
Yeah.
and they're starting the new seasons 2. When is that going to be?
I think Cosmo said sometime in August.
Okay, yeah.
Give me some more.
Okay, and we have $20 from Matthew Archer. Hi guys, looking forward to an awesome summer games done quick this year. Just like awesome news done quick. Shouts to everyone behind the scenes who makes these marathons possible, but don't necessarily get much screen time. Please put this donation towards naming the boy in Secret of Evermore. Hashtag SGDQ 2013. And that is a good reminder that if you're going to tweet about our marathon, please use the hashtag SGDQ 2013. That is the hashtag for a marathon. It's in the corner of the stream layout. So if you're loving a marathon and you want to tweet about it, just get it out there with that hashtag. And that is a good point. You know, we do have a lot of people who work hard behind the scenes. Yeah, exactly. Uranium Anchor, you know, helped set up all the stream stuff. Cool Maddie is currently doing the audio tech, and he's done a lot of great work. Rom Scout is helped organize this marathon. He's going to be the main organizer for future summer games done quick. And there's just a lot of great people working behind the scenes. You know, there's also the Yeti, who's providing a lot of great T-shirts. It's not on the Twitch page, but if you go to theyeti.com/SDA, there is a really great T-shirt sale going on right now, and $3 of every T-shirt that you buy will go straight to the charity. The other is to cover the costs of making the shirt.
Okay, so normally you're supposed to go back to Kamiki Village and do the Konohana Shuffle, which gives you Lily Pad, but that's the most useless. That's the second most useless brush technique in the game. There are certain corners near water sections that if you just swim up against them, Amaterasu would just jump onto the wall, and so from there we just use a normal wall jump and get to the opposite corner without ever actually having to get Lily Pad.
I'd say Lily Pad's the most useless since it can actually be skipped in new game as well.
I guess so. I don't know much about the new game route, so I guess Catwalk is second most useless.
Since you still need that for new game.
Okay, so we're gonna skip mini boss here, hopefully. So normally you run into Ushiwaka here, but we can avoid. We can avoid the cutscene that triggers the fight by jumping over the cliff with a single KT.
Nice.
Now we're going. So now the game gets done really out of order from this point onwards. We're just gonna run up here and trigger the Mermaid Spring again for fast travel later. Normally at this point, you talk to
The fishing boy.
the fishing boy, Kokari, and he tells you that his dog is trapped in the ruins. You do a fishing mini game, go into the ruins and get Vine, and then you free the dog, and then you have to come here and you have to do a log mini game. We're gonna do another version of the KT glitch. I'm gonna go Hail Mary it once. Yeah, that was too high. So if you dash over a body of water and KT and switch Karmic Transformers, you can jump out of the dash if you time it right.
So
That was too high.
Oh, do you mind if I make an announcement right now?
Sure.
We're the third most highest viewed stream on Twitch, and we have 15,000 viewers right now.
Wow.
We're at 15,000 already?
Yeah, we're at 15,000 already.
Well, I just messed up the skip like 3 times. Normally, like just getting it over the water is really easy, but the stupid current,
It's hard to tell where the
Yeah.
surface of the water is.
There it is.
No, I hit the invisible wall. Like that invisible wall doesn't always exist. Like it depends on the angle you dash into the bridge at. So if you dash into the bridge at the wrong angle. Okay, finally. All right. So after a few trials and tribulations, we finally made it across. So now we're in Taka Pass. Even though we can get up to the tree and bloom it now, the game won't let
Well,
you.
you can't bloom it now.
Well, yeah.
You get up to it, but you can't bloom it.
The game won't let you bloom it unless you go run into the cave and defeat Waka. So we have to go do that. You can read some donations.
Okay. Let's see. We have a $502 donation from Kevin Tong. I wonder who he is. And all he wants to say is Summer Games Done Quick is awesome. Thanks to all the people who supported my endeavors to get here. My friends from school, Team Liquid, the 502 crew. Also, shouts to Sloop and happy birthday. Respect the land. And because he respected the land, Donkey Kong Land was one of the bonus games people could donate for, and he put his entire donation towards the game. So it's going to be played right after Donkey Kong Country returns. So the land has been freed.
Yeah, respected. I think I also put $2 to Dragon Coins and Moons.
Oh, Dragon Coins and Moons?
Yeah, I think that's where my last $2 went to.
Yes.
I really hope.
All right, so you can go up the cliff or up the cave the other way, but it's slightly faster to just KT up the cliff if you do it right.
Like that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That was faster.
If you do it right.
Yeah. So now we're on top. It won't let you bloom it unless you're actually standing on top of the cliff or on the bridge on the opposite side. So.
Okay, so we have an $80 donation from Alyssa M. Dahl, and she says, been psyching myself up for this marathon over the past few weeks by watching footage of the previous events. I'm so excited to be able to donate to this one. Good luck to everyone. Yeah, if you want to watch our previous events, we do have links to the previous marathons on the marathon.speeddemoarchive.com page in the history, and you can also look them up on YouTube. A lot of them are on the Speed Demos Archive SDA YouTube channel too.
So up here we have another sequence break coming up.
Not just yet.
Not just yet. First we're gonna go through this demon gate because again we need to get it.
City Robo would be very happy with you. The spinning bark strats.
There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do while you wait for the end game. So normally you're supposed to go up to Cusa Village and talk to Princess Huse and then feed her dogs.
And she sends you on a quest.
To
feed the other dogs. And
Yeah. So you're supposed to rescue the Sparrow girl from the Cutters, and in order to unlock the gate to Sasa Sanctuary. But we're just going to do that a little bit out of order. This skip is kind of cool.
I like how every sentence that you start explaining a trick, it starts out with normally, comma.
Yeah.
So we're that was silly. So what? Oh man,
Please.
this is
Okami, please.
not the best run I've ever had. That's for sure. That's okay.
Pretty good on your KT.
So just an update on the donation total. We're currently at $2,589.22. So,
How much?
$2,500.
2,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So.
25 minutes into the run.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, that was 2006.
Okay, so we just jumped behind the loading zone that got us in here, and so now we're just going to we just need to get this angle proper. There we go. And we're gonna jump. We're just gonna jump into the abyss and hold forward for about 8 seconds.
This is yellow strats right here.
Yeah, so it's very nice and blue. It's very spacious and scenic. And so we just fall for a little bit.
There it is.
And for some reason, Sasa Sanctuary the inside of Sasa Sanctuary is below the outside.
It's just right beneath. It's like
So and now we're inside Sasa Sanctuary. Yeah, that also skips a loading zone because like we can also KT over the front of the front gate, and that also gets us into Sasa Sanctuary, but it causes a loading zone and it's a really long KT.
A loading screen.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not actually loading anything since it's right there.
Yeah. So now we have to do a digging mini game with Mr. Bamboo because he has magical water finding powers.
it's actually faster if you turn him around right at the start before the first marathon.
I don't. He's just gonna run really fast anyway.
Okay, so we have a $10 donation from Thomas Searfloss. Shout to Centillia SD from Tom's grandma. You may be balder, but you'd still make a pretty girl.
Thank you. That is if any of you guys follow League of Legends, that is League of Legends caster Optimus Tom. He's a friend of mine from high school, and his family has always been very supportive of me throughout high school and college and stuff. And I like crash at their house very frequently, so thank you to them.
And we have $20 from Tyler Gaskin, and he says, "Put this 20 towards the Legend of Zelda 5 Heart Challenge." That means
Like not even-
Darkwing
like
Duck
half
will
paying
only pick up, will only have 5 hearts throughout the maximum throughout the entire game. Even though he'll miss it, well, even though you'll be missing it, we are recording all of the footage for this marathon, so you will be able to watch it later. And we have a $10 donation from Robert Garcia. He says, "Hello everyone, Alex here, and let's hope donations like mine will be common for the next few days. This 10 will go towards the Sniper Wolf fistfight during the Metal Gear Solid run. Good luck, runners, and let's have a successful marathon." Speaking of that, some of our first donation incentives are for Metal Gear Solid. We have the Sniper Wolf fistfight. Yes, you can actually get in a fistfight with her and defeat her that way. And we've already met the goal. It's at $226 out of 200. So Slade, who's a very talented Metal Gear Solid runner, he's going to play in extreme difficulty. We'll be fighting Sniper Wolf with his fists, and you can also make Snake wear a tuxedo. That is at $38 out of $300. You can check those on our tracker. The link is in both the Twitch channel and the the marathon.speeddemosarchive.com page.
Is there an incentive for saving or killing Meryl?
Yes, there is.
Make sure you do that.
Yeah, so to saving Otacon or killing Meryl is at $40, and saving Meryl is at $25.
So Otacon's winning.
Okay, so right now we actually the game assumes that in order to have gotten into Sasa Sanctuary, you must have talked to Princess Husei in Cusa Village and gotten the canine tracker. So by talking to that crying bird, it just generates the canine tracker for us because it assumes we already have it, even though we don't. And Mr. Bamboo kindly gives us a free mermaid coin to use the mermaid spring. Now we're going to go back to Husei Village.
And actually meet Princess Husei.
Yes.
That was where you came up and activated the spring and then left.
Yes. Now we're going to feed her dogs because she's a negligent owner.
Well, first you need to uncurse her.
Oh, yeah.
Curse.
And then we need to.
She can't help it.
We also need to buy mermaid coins, so we're gonna make a quick stop at the merchant in Cusa Village anyway.
Oh, your stream monsters are gonna like this donation. $10 from Thorsten Dolert. He says, "My first donation, but definitely not my last. Been looking forward to this event for quite some time now, and I know it's gonna be as much fun as Awesome Games Done Quick. Shout out to all you guys and the Twitch chat. Cheers." Okay.
Shout out to Twitch chat.
And we have $10 from Michael Carey. He says, "Shout outs to Centillia and the rest of the 502 crew from number 905. Best of luck to everyone during the marathon."
Thank you, number 905. So this village right now is filled with miasma that slowly drains your ink, but we have
you have
infinite
infinite
ink,
You have
so
infinite ink,
whatever.
doesn't it? New game plus threats.
And you can't use any brush powers during this while it's...
Feel free to read donations. This is
Okay. And we have $250 from Nicholas Zian. He says, "Hi guys, I want to wish you good luck with the marathon. You guys are awesome. I want to give Centillia some advice for this game. 1, pray the KT's God. You will need him. Seriously, you are the brush. Keep that in mind. It is very important." Well, there is no number 3, so good luck with the run. Love you guys, and once again, good luck.
Thank you.
Nicholas Zion, aka Pills of Death.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Pills.
Yeah, he's the current record holder, correct?
Yes, he is the current record holder. His world record for this game is 135 something.